See you later, kids. I've got to go rehearse with Ned.
But Marge, what about dessert?
For God's sakes, you can pull the lid off your own can of pudding.
Fine, I will. Oh no, my pudding is trapped forever.
Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to talk about the iconic animated sitcom, The Simpsons, and their incredible ability to predict future events. You won't believe the number of times they got it right. So grab some popcorn, sit back, and enjoy the video. In Season 15, Episode 14, The Ziff Who Came to Dinner, Homer stands in front of a poster for A Matrix Christmas, a promotion for the fourth Matrix movie, featuring Keanu Reeves in the center with a Christmas hat atop his head. 17 years later, The Matrix Resurrections was released on December 22, 2021. Unfortunately, the release date of The Matrix Resurrections was the only Christmas-related element of the belated sequel, which did not offer viewers a Matrix Christmas despite its many strengths. In Season 10, Episode 1, Lord of the Dance, Homer learns of a lucrative business opportunity, selling grease. So Homer ropes Bart in, and they start a business selling grease, which they steal from various sources, including Krusty Burger and even Springfield Elementary School. While it's true that used grease can be sold for good money, stealing it is not worth the risk. In 2022, 3 men from New York were busted for stealing grease from the New Chief Wok restaurant in Salem, New Hampshire. This bizarre crime revealed a whole underworld involving grease. Salem police captain Jason Smith said that grease theft was on the rise. The individuals we spoke to said they had to come to New England because everyone in New York City is already stealing grease from the restaurants there. Season 5, Episode 19, Sweet Seymour Skinner's badass song, Lunch Lady Doris, adds horse meat to the kids' meals. While the idea is hilarious on the small screen, it's not so funny in real life. In 2013, the horse meat scandal found that 29% of animal meat used in Tesco burgers was actually horse meat. Millions of beef products were pulled from around Europe, and there was understandably public outcry about how the supply chain could have been compromised so horribly. In The City of New York versus Homer Simpson, there was a moment that alluded to the 9/11 attacks on the World Trade Center in New York City. In the episode, there is a brochure that says, New York at $9 a day, and behind the 9 are the Twin Towers. So, they look like an 11, and it looks like a 9/11. While this is a completely bizarre and strange coincidence, it's important to note that $9 was picked as a comically cheap fare, and it's not the only episode of any series ever that had ever predicted the World Trade Center attack. Eerily, quite a few shows made the same joke before the terrible event occurred. In Lisa the Greek, an episode about predictions, of all things, which first aired in January 1992, Homer and Lisa bond over sports. Well, sports gambling. In the episode, Lisa discovers she has a knack for predicting football winners, which Homer happily cashes in on. Lisa tells Homer that if the Washington Redskins defeat the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl, she would still love him. If they don't, she won't. Washington wins, and all is well between them. The episode was redubbed in 1993 and in 1994 to include the names of the Super Bowl teams competing those years, and in both years, in each different redub, Lisa's predictions were correct. All 3 were just lucky guesses according to Mr. Gene, writer and producer of the show. In Ei-Do, Homer creates a mutant hybrid plant called Tomako by using nuclear ingredients from the power plant. He uses this super-boosted plant hybrid to rake in money, which drives a wedge between Homer and the rest of his family. Disturbing real-life counterparts have emerged around the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, where deformed vegetables and fruit popped up and looked unsettlingly similar to Homer's creation, while no one has tried to find a way to make money out of these monstrous mutations. It's not too far-fetched to imagine less scary versions of these in grocery stores in the future. In Marge in Chains, released back in 1993, the episode shows Springfield dealing with an unknown disaster flu that mysteriously springs up. The Osaka flu, a flu whose similarities to, you guessed it, the coronavirus of 2020 are quite unsettling. The Osaka flu originated from a different country before it made its way to the US, seeming to have Asian origin. In addition, the episode didn't have a treatment immediately available and had quite destructive effects on Springfield. The doctor of the episode recommended patients to follow a routine similar to that recommended by doctors to patients of the coronavirus. In the same episode that The Simpsons predicted a pandemic, they also gave clues to another outbreak. During the episode Marge in Chains, a crowd of people demanded that they wanted a placebo to cure their illness. When one of the members of the crowd pointed at a truck that could hold the placebos, the crowd knocked the truck over, releasing a swarm of killer bees. Similar to around the same time as the COVID-19 outbreak, there were reports of the Asian giant hornet appearing in the US, a type of killer bee. The fact that The Simpsons writers not only predicted both events individually, but were able to predict both within the same episode happening within similar time ranges of each other is just unnerving. In the Simpsons movie, 2007, actor Tom Hanks made a cameo appearance during a commercial scene that The Simpsons were watching. During the commercial, a father took his two children to see the Grand Canyon, but his daughter was unimpressed by the landmark and requested for there to be a new Grand Canyon. Next, Hanks enters the scene, stating that the U.S. government lost its credibility, so it's borrowing some of mine. In 2022, 1 year after President Joe Biden's presidency, Hanks appeared in the commercial stating the Americans' determination as they endured economic hardships caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. The video focused on America's theme of rebuilding its economy and highlighting the successes of Biden's administration so far, running parallel to Tom Hanks' endorsement in the series. It's interesting to note that in the 2005 episode Midnight RX, Ned tags along with Homer and Grandpa's smuggling trips to Canada to get medicine for his own kids. Ned meets his Canadian counterpart and quickly learns they're very different when he's offered a reeferino, since it's legal in that country. 13 years later, in 2018, recreational marijuana became legal in Canada. While Ned likely won't be making any trips back with Apu, Homer, and Grandpa, it's good to know he was at least at the center of one of the coolest things Simpsons predicted.
Cut of your gibberish?
Cohen doodly
Diddly oodly, diddly oodly,
doodly
oodly,
noodly doodly diddly doodly.
Thank you for tuning in to this video about the remarkable ability of The Simpsons to accurately predict future events. The show has certainly proven to be more than just a source of entertainment, but also a showcase of impressive foresight. We hope you found this video informative and enjoyable. Stay tuned for more content in the future.